Hey everyone, I'm Rosie and welcome back to my channel. Today is one of those days where I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna make yet, and when I need a little bit of inspiration, I just start flipping through things. So I have some Nat Geos here that I've used before, but I'm sure there's still really great stuff in here. So let's start flipping through these, see what we can find, and see what will inspire us today. A lot of people ask me what I'm looking for when I'm looking through images, and I've always kind of struggled with what to say. I wish I had a great answer, but I think for the most part, I'm looking for images where I feel like I can add something to the image or take something away and add it to a different image. So I wonder if I can find an example to sort of share what I mean by that. So I guess these two people, I feel like these people I could take out of this image and put somewhere else, like they're skiing down something. But this image, actually the more I look at it, I really am liking this image. I feel like this is one where I could add something to the image. I feel like if I took out everything that's underneath this porch area, leave the pillars, but take everything else out and put a different sort of environment in there, that could be a really cool image. And I love how there's a lot of greenery here and up the top. I feel like there's potential with this image. I really am kind of liking that. And for this image, I feel like you could very easily put something in her arms to replace the rugby ball. That could be really silly and funny. So that would be, again, adding something to the image. I feel like this guy, you could take out him, take out the net, take out the volleyball, maybe this hand, and put them somewhere else. Completely change the background out. That might be a funny image. Here's another image that I am drawn to that I think has a lot of potential. Because this image looks so fancy with the crystal glasses, I think you could pair this with maybe some animals and make it a little more silly. You could have maybe monkeys climbing up the side here or jumping between the two glasses, or maybe some of them are inside. I think you could pair these with some funny animals, and that would be a nice juxtaposition to the fancy glasses. So I found a good amount of images in here that I think I'm gonna pull out that are nice. Oh, there's this image too, this restaurant scene, this outdoor dining. I like how busy this image is, but the sky is sort of bare. And I feel like you could put something between the two sides of the buildings, have something like coming through, maybe a snake or, I don't know, a hand, an eel, something like that. I feel like this image has potential. So I'm gonna pull out the ones that I have been drawn to and we'll see what we can do with them. So we might not get to all three of these images, but I want to start with the house one because I think it has the most potential. I'm still not entirely sure what I want to put back here, but I'm going to cut out this area anyway, and then we can overlay it on other images and test out some things. I think that will be the easiest way to see things. And then in my travels, if I find things for these two images, we'll work on those. But I'm going to start with the house one because it is the one I'm most inspired by. So I'm looking for something floral to add back here, and I like the idea of finding something really bright and colorful, so there's good contrast between that image and then this green and sort of darker house. The other thing I want to try to do is find an image where there are flowers sticking up that I can cut out and have them sort of escaping from the house and covering up some of this porch hangover. And I think that will really add some cool depth to the image. So this image isn't quite right, but I'm going to keep looking for something very bright, very colorful with, I guess, lots of flowers. Ooh, this is a really nice image. I love all the pinks. This definitely could work. So I'm gonna keep this one in the back of my mind. Pulled out my flowers folder because I never know what I'm gonna find in these. Whoa, I thought this image was gonna be too small, but I kind of like it. This one so far is probably the one that stands out the most. There's the most contrast between the front image and the flower image. Oh, this one too. Oh, there's something about these flowers I really don't like. I think the stems look like spider legs or like tarantula legs. Ugh, okay, we're not gonna use that one. I think we have some pretty good contenders. While I like this image and I do think the colors have nice contrast, I think what's bothering me about this photo is of vines that are vertical and the photo is sort of shot straight on. And so it doesn't look like the flowers are growing up from the ground. And I think that's what I want in this, is that I want the flowers to look like they're growing up from within the house. So I think the perspective of this image is not right. Okay, I've made a decision. Oh, and it's not this image. What I don't like about this image is I think it's maybe a little bit out of focus. It's not as crisp as the house and maybe just feels like they don't feel as connected. So that one's out. I think I like this small one the best. I'm glad I pulled it out because I almost didn't. I thought it might be too small. But I think that this one is the most colorful. It just kind of fits the scene the best. So the next step is to cut out some of these flowers so they're coming over the pillars, some maybe over the roof a little, and we'll play around with that and see what that's looking like. But I think this one's really close. I think this piece is looking really great now that I've integrated some of the flowers coming into the porch area. There's definitely some places where I have to do some trimming, clean things up a little bit, but I think I'm gonna stop here with this piece. I don't think there's anything else I wanna add. I really don't wanna clutter the message of this. I really don't want to add anything else that might, make it not look like a house anymore. So I think I'm gonna call it with this one, and I wanna move on to one of the other images. I'm thinking of working on this one next. I think there's a lot of potential to do something up here on the sky or something coming down from the back of the street. If I could find the right image, it would be really fun to have something coming down from the sky. Oh, stalactites or stalagmites maybe? I can't remember which one come up from the ceiling. But if we could make this look like there's a cave coming from the top, that might be interesting. Or maybe we put a creature coming down the alley. I'm not exactly sure. I gotta look through some images and see what's gonna work. It's gonna have to be sort of the right image, but let's move on to this piece now. So I think we're gonna go the creature route, and so I got lots of creatures that might work. I really wanna pick a creature that looks like it's turning this corner here, so he actually feels like he's walking down this alley. So it's gonna be, I think, sort of challenging to find exactly the right animal. So this one obviously does not work, so say goodbye to him. So that guy doesn't work either. It's gonna have to be a very particular creature. Oh, this one might work because he's kinda, you know, he does maybe have a part here that we could tuck behind some of these buildings. He's maybe a little bit too scary, but maybe that's what we're going for, maybe. But I think a lot of these are probably not going to work. I did pull out this dinosaur, which I thought maybe would fit a little bit further back here. He is facing all the right ways, so his tail is coming from the right and then he's looking to the right. So it might actually feel like he is coming around the corner. So I'm gonna cut him out and cut this scary creature out and we'll see which one fits better. I also think if we change the sky up here, that's gonna change the mood a lot. So if we pick one of these, they're both kind of scary. If we pick a darker, maybe like a cloudy moon, make it nighttime, that might make this feel, it might change the entire mood of the piece. So I think we'll do that too. But let's see if either one of these creatures work. Okay, let's see if either of these work. Okay. Well, definitely doesn't feel like he's walking on the ground. Oh boy. Yeah, this is not great. Let's check this guy. It does sort of feel like he's coming down the alley. He does feel a little bit like he could be in the scene. I don't know, maybe it's not perfect. Maybe if there was ocean up here in the sky and maybe some other fish, we could make it feel more incorporated. I don't know, there's nothing I can tuck behind the building to make him really feel like he's here in this environment. I think that's what I'm struggling with. I think I need to go back in and look for new animals, new creatures, maybe more oceans. I don't know. I don't think either of these are working, unfortunately, so I'm gonna keep looking. Okay, change of plans. Well, I guess it's not completely change of plans because these are still creatures, but I found all these pictures of jellyfish when I was looking for other creatures, and I think I might be able to make this so it looks like the jellyfish are coming down from the sky into the scene. And I think that, I mean, I'm not sure which of these is gonna work. We could have one jellyfish, which might be really overpowering, but might look cool. I think these jellyfish are going to be maybe too hard to cut out of their scene. Like this image might be really hard to work with, but this image might be perfect. We might not use these down here, but we could use these and have this part of the image more intact. Whatever fits into this little sky triangle. I am hopeful for this direction, so I'm gonna start cutting these out and see if it works. So I think that this is reading pretty well. I think I can make this work. I'm not exactly sure if I want to cut this lady out and have the jellyfish tucked in behind her. Maybe we just want to use sort of less of it and maybe cut out some of these other people and have it tucked in fully behind there. And I wonder if there's a way I can get this guy tucked in behind something. It doesn't look like there's anything that it should get tucked behind. I guess I could tuck it behind their heads. I just feel like when you're sort of merging two images like this, if you can at all get your images in front or behind the others, it makes it really feel more integrated. And so I try to do that as much as possible. And so I'm trying to think of ways where I can do that. So maybe I will cut around this lady and around this guy and tuck the jellyfish behind there. And then maybe I'll tuck it behind these people's heads just because I can in this area. Maybe I'll use sort of less of it so you can see more of the scene. That's the other thing, is I don't want to overwhelm the scene because these are so large. I feel like I very easily could sort of cover everything up, which is not what I want to do. I want to keep this a little bit more subtle, so that's probably what I should do. So I really love how this piece is coming together. I think we've integrated the two images really well. So let's get this trimmed up, let's glue it up, and we'll glue together the other piece, and then I think we'll be able to wrap these up. What fun collages we made today. I love them both so very much. And my favorite thing about this entire process is not even knowing what you're going to create until you find that perfect image, and then you find another perfect image to pair with it. The uncertainty of the entire process is what I love so very much. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next Thursday for another collage video. Bye!